class. श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर भगवान की, श्री काम्यवन धाम की, श्री वृंदावन धाम की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Anyway, I am Dr. Vishwarup Das. I am from Bhaktivedanta Hospital. I serve there as Deputy Director of Spiritual Care and Palliative Care, and we are having a hospital at Barsana called as Bhaktivedanta Eye Hospital, 100 bedded, almost free hospital. This year we are going to operate 7,000 eye surgeries free of charge. Till now we were doing 3,000 surgeries. After the new hospital has come up, it is automatically doubled. Hare Krishna. I am the initiated disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. I am sure that you know that you can do better. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So by the causeless mercy of Sri Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada and the Acharyas, we have come to the most holy place called Kamyavan. So the word Kamya means very attractive, attracting to the heart, or very beautiful. Another meaning of Kamya is desire, which can be material desire or can be desire for devotional service to please Krishna. Kamyavan is one of the 12 dearmost forests of Krishna. There are totally unlimited forests, out of which 137 are more dear, and out of that 108 are more and more dear. Out of that 12 are the most dear, and out of 12 the most and most dear is Vrindavan, and the second most dear is Kamyavan. Kamyavan is also called as Prati Vrindavan. It is almost as much dear to Krishna as Vrindavan. And why we have to be calling out the Lord very at the best of our capacity? Because simply by coming to Kamyavan, all your material and spiritual desires are fulfilled. No, Haribol? There is a saying in the Braj Bhasha which says, Kaam ban jaye to kaam ban jaye. If you come to Kamyavan, all your desires will be fulfilled. So that is the place we have come. As it is a very difficult task to describe all the pastimes that took place in Kamyavan in 60 minutes. But still, nonetheless, I would like to at least enumerate the places that are here that I know of. Actually, there are 84 temples as per Vishnu Puran. There are not only 84 temples, but important 84 temples, 84 sarovaras, and 168 pillars, which have been established by King Kamasin. No chanting during Katha, only listening Katha with full concentration. So 84 temples, 84 ponds, and 84 into 2, 168 pillars. But as per the Brajvasi Acharyas, there are thousands of kundas here, which have been lost in the course of time. And if you come later than today, in the future, more will be lost. So, the most important place, Kamyavan, is known for Kameshwar Mahadev. Kameshwar Mahadev is the form of one of the 4 important Mahadevs in Brajbhumi, where Brishbhanu Maharaj, the father of Radharani, worshipped Lord Kameshwar Mahadev. Also in Kamyavan there is 5 Leelas of Pandavas. Kamyavan is the first forest where Pandavas went for their Vanvas. That means straight from Hastinapur, the first place they came is Kamyavan. Then onwards, they have spent long time here. After that, they have gone to many other places. So the Leela of Akshay Patra, getting Akshay Patra, happened over here. In short, when Pandavas came here, the Rishis followed them. They used to meet them every day in Hastinapur, but they could not stay without them. So they followed, asked where they are, and they came here. But Yudhishthira Maharaj didn't have resources to feed them. But he had tremendous desire in the heart to feed them. Looking at that, Shandilya Muni gave them a mantra. After chanting that mantra for some time, Suryadev appeared and gave him Akshay Patra. The pastime of Yakshakunda, that is, the Pandavas got thirsty, so Yudhishthira sent Nakul Sahadev. First he sent Bhimsen, then he sent Arjuna, then he sent Nakul Sahadev. All of them fell unconscious by drinking the water because they did not obey the instruction of the sound, Yaksha. Please answer my question first, then drink the water. But they didn't bother, they thought, we don't care. Drank the water, they fell unconscious. So finally Yudhishthira Maharaj came, and he also heard the same voice. So he was humble, he said, okay. And then there's a long discussion in Mahabharata where Yudhishthira Maharaj was asked many questions. At the end of the questionnaire, the last question was asked, what is the most surprising thing in the material world? And I know that you know the answer, but still I will tell the answer. This is the $1 million question. What is the most surprising thing in the material world? And the answer is, everybody is dying, but those who are living, they think they will not die. Aho Ascharya, Aho Ascharyam, Aho Ascharyam. So then, that sound gave darshan as Dharmaraj, the demigod, whose son was Yudhishthira, of course. And then he asked for a boon to get his brothers alive, and they all were alive. So that pastime took place in Kamyavan. Durvasa Muni was sent by Duryodhana here because he knew that he is a very angry kind of rishi, and if in jungle if they don't serve him properly, then he will curse them. So he pleased them in Hastinapur, and Durvasa Muni was sent, please go and bless our brothers also, they are in forest. So Draupadi had just finished eating, and 60,000 disciples and Durvasa Muni came, and they were quite hungry. So Yudhishthira Maharaj said, please go and take bath in the river, by the time food will be ready. They didn't know how. So Draupadi called Krishna, Krishna appeared there. You can understand, I am going fast forward. Krishna came and said, I am hungry, please give something to me. He said, I have just finished eating. You are making fun of me or what? I am in a serious condition calling you. He said, go and see, something is there in the Akshay Patra. And few rice grains were there, and Krishna ate that, and all the 60,000 disciples of Durvasa Muni, including Durvasa Muni, felt like their stomachs were full with rice kheer, and they were also belching with that. So they were wondering what to do now. How do we honor the request? In the meantime, Krishna told Bhima and Arjun, with your Gada and with your Dhanushyaman, you go. Just take them and go. And tell them, now, sadhus, please come. So when they came, Durasamani told his disciples, now we cannot disobey them. Let us run away. So they ran away from the opposite bank of the river. That's how Krishna saved them. This pastime took place in Kamevan. After that, Duryodhana came to tease the Pandavas. He put up his opulent camp, brought ladies and dancing and food and all this thing happened. By that, Indra got very angry. He sent his yakshas. They defeated Duryodhana, arrested him, tied him up, and they were dragging. And from the sky they were taking as arrested person. And he was calling out, help, help. Yudhishthir heard. And he said, Arjun and Bhimsen, go and save him. So Bhimsen said, what is happening is very good. Why have to go and save him? Automatically he is getting punished for his misdeeds. So Yudhishthira Maharaj told a very important thing here in Kamevan. When it is us and Kauravas, we are 5 and 100. But when somebody outsider comes, we are 105. So this is not a time to take out your own rivalry with them. We are one family and somebody else is coming and taking our family member. So reluctantly but still obediently, Bhimsen and Arjun went and instantly defeated those yakshas and released Duryodhana. And Duryodhana felt, instead of feeling obliged, he felt more insulted. He felt, I was saved by my enemy. And he went back. Unfortunate person. Then Jayadratha always eyed on Draupadi. And he always was following her in forest also. When she went to take bath one time alone, Jayadratha followed her and grabbed her by hand and was taking her on his chariot. At that time she was calling out loudly, Bhimsen, Arjun, Yudhishthira, everybody. And Bhimsen and Arjun chased him and they caught him up. They released Draupadi and then they were about to kill, but they brought him to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And Yudhishthira said, ask Draupadi what punishment should be given. So what do you expect? Punishment should be killing. One who misbehaves with your wife, the punishment is to kill him. But Draupadi said, if you kill him, then our cousin sister, who is the wife of Jayadratha, she was the only sister of all the 100 Kauravas. And Jayadratha was married with her. So she will become widow and she will cry for the whole life. So let him go. But Bhimsen said, no, some punishment must be given. For Kshatriya, insult is more than death. So let us cut off his head and keep some bunches of hair, tufts of hair, and let us cut off his beard half mustache, half beard, and we release him. By that way he was heavily insulted. And he went and performed tapasya with Lord Shiva and said, I want to kill Pandavas. So that's how on the Chakravyuha day, Jayadratha was able to hold all Pandavas for the whole day. They could not just defeat him. He was in the mouth of Chakravyuha. And inside Abhimanyu was killed. So these pastimes took place in Kamevan. Then you went to Radha Govind temple. In short, Radha Govinda deity, only Govinda deity of course. Radha Rani was brought later on by Janama Devi. Govinda Dev was carved by Vajranath, the great grandson of Krishna. And he established it in Vrindavan Dham on the order of Krishna, who told him to renovate Sri Vrindavan Dham or re-established. इसको हिंदी में कहते हैं मेरे ब्रज को सवारो, after I leave. So in the course of time the deity was lost. It was recovered by Rupa Goswami. It's a long pastime is there. After recovering Govindji, he put Govindji on the yoke pit where he was found and started worshipping. After that Raghunath Bhatta Goswami worshipped him. Then Man Singh, the disciple of Raghunath Bhatta, came and built a huge temple for Govindji. 7-story temple. In the course of time, in 17th century, Aurangzeb came. He was envious, so he came and actually destroyed the temple, 5 floors. But before he came, Govinda Dev was taken away from that temple. There is a story of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in whose times all this happened. So he guided the taking away of Govindji's Murti. Before that, Janmadevi had come and given Radharani's deity to all the temples, like Madan Mohan, Govindji, Gopinathji. So Radha Govindji were moved, and at the same time, when Rupa Goswami recovered Govindji and Radharani came later, he also found Vrinda Devi's deity at the banks of Brahmakund, where Brahma had cried and his tears had formed that kund called Brahmakund. So Vrinda Devi also was on the right side of Govind Dev. So all these deities were taken away in the midnight in the bullock cart under the direction of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And then first they came to Radhakund. There is a lot of pastimes took place in Radhakund. And then Radha Govindji with Vrinda Devi were moved to Kamyavan, where you are sitting and where you had darshan. So when time came to leave Kamyavan, because Jai Singh from Jaipur had told them, bring all your deities to Jaipur, I will protect them because Aurangzeb doesn't dare to come to me. They were very powerful Kshatriyas. So when time came to go from here, Vrinda Devi told Govindji that you are Jagannath, you are the king of the whole universe. So wherever you will go, you will get the same worship and respect. But I belong to Vrindavan, I am the Devi of Vrindavan. Radharani gifted me Vrindavan. She got me married with you. So I am the mistress and Devi of Vrindavan. So I will stay back here and you go ahead. So that time Radha Govindji went ahead to Jaipur and Vrinda Devi, original deity, stayed here. So where you had darshan, the Vrinda Devi is the original deity which was found at Brahmakund. And what you see Radha Govindji is Pratibhu Murti. When the original Murti moved from this place to Govindji, Pratibhu Murti was established. Jagannathji came incidentally later on there. Now the place where Radha Govind temple is there, the whole thing, much more than the temple, is the Vedi, the marriage Vedi of Chaturbhuja Vishnu and Viraja Devi. Viraja Gopi is from spiritual world. She is the mother of all the 7 oceans. So Viraja Gopi and Chaturbhuj Vishnu got married on that Vivaha Mancha, on which today Radha Govindji and Vrinda Devi are sitting. When they were married in a very great pomp along with the presence of all demigods and rishis, Brahmaji washed their feet and water was collected from the Abhishek of lotus feet of Vishnu and Viraja Devi, Viraja Gopi, and that formed Charanamrut Kunda, which is just behind the temple where you had just gone. So another story is there of that same place. I'm trying to tell you everything in short. In Braj Bhumi, nobody is allowed to stay. No demigods can stay overnight here. But only few of them are allowed to stay, like Lord Shiva and Parvati, everywhere in Braj. But Ganeshji is only allowed to stay in Kamyavan. Because at one time, Bali Maharaj was, by the mercy of Shukracharya and the Brahmanas, became invincible. And he defeated the demigods many times. At one time, all the demigods went to Vishnu and they told what to do with Bali Maharaj. He is defeating us like right, left and center. They said right now there is not a good time to fight with him. But you can approach Lord Ganesh and request him, can he lead you as a Senapati? So Ganeshji agreed, and again demigods got some encouragement, so they all took their weapons and challenged Bali. Bali was surprised how they can challenge me so fast. But anyway, Ganeshji led them and fought a very fierce war, and by Ganeshji's power, Bali Maharaj and all his army fell unconscious, Sammohanastra. And they were so much fiercely attacked by Ganeshji that when they woke up from their slumber, out of fear they just ran away, including Bali Maharaj also ran away. So thus Lord Ganesha gave victory to demigods at this place. So he was brought to Chaturbhuj Vishnu and Viraja Devi, who were residing at that place where Radha Govind temple is there. And Chaturbhuj Vishnu and Viraja Gopi, they blessed Ganeshji to have his residence in Kamyavan. That's how Lord Ganesha has received his residence in Kamyavan. Then Lord Krishna has revealed many holy places in Braj Bhumi. The reason behind is that when Lord Krishna puts Vrindavan Dham, Golok Vrindavan, on the earth, which is then called as Bhauma Vrindavan, all the holy places which are also personalities, they also want to come and reside in the Dham to get their blessings and to be able to serve nicely with the blessings of the Dham of Vrindavan. So, Lord Krishna also knows that all these personalities who are in the form of Dham and Tirtha, rivers and mountains and ponds and everybody, oceans, they all want to reside in Vrindavan Dham, Krishna's Sri Vrindavan Dham. So, Kamyavan is one of the places where maximum of Dhams and Tirthas are revealed by Krishna. The list is as follows: Setu Bandha, Rameshwar Mahadev, Sri Lanka, Ashok Vatika, Gaya in Bihar, Gaya. Then there is a place called Vimalkund, I'll tell you in short. Then Badrinath and Kedarnath, Gangotri, Yamunotri, Harkipedi, Haridwar, all these places are also revealed in Kamyavan. So there are very conglomerated, beautiful collection of many holy places in Kamyavan. So, in short, one time gopis, of course, this place is predominated by Sakya Leela and Madhurya Leela. Gopis pastimes and pastimes with friends, cow herding pastimes, mainly are performed over here. So one time gopis and gopas and cows were together, and at that time Gopis said that we have heard that in the last life you were Ram. And Balramji was Lakshman. So Krishna said, no, I am a simple coward boy. He is God. Ram and Lakshman are God. So then a lot of discussion took place. In the end, Gopi said, don't do too much drama. Better you show your roop as Ram and Lakshman, or we will not talk to you. Now the personified fear is fearful of Krishna. But Krishna is fearful of the threat of the gopis. So immediately agree. Yes, immediately agree. So close your eyes. So they close their eyes, boys and girls. Now the girls. And Krishna immediately turned into Lord Ram. Balramji turned into Lakshman. And what the coward boys became? Loudly bolo tara. Monkeys. So all the coward boys became monkeys with nice tails and everything. Krishna became green instead of blue, and Balramji remained as white as he was, as Lakshmana. And Lord Ram sat down and established a Shivlinga, Rameshwar Mahadev, there in Kamyavan. There are audience sitting on one side, and there are Ram, Lakshman and coward boys, monkeys are performing their Leela, drama you can say. And then after worshipping Rameshwar Mahadev establishing, Lord Ram came. When Lord Ram came out, a big ocean manifested there. Which is that ocean? Hindi Mahasagar, Indian Ocean was manifested there. And then Lord Ram and the monkeys, they started putting the stones, and immediately the bridge was built. This all happened in a very express way, very fast, not like the way it happened in the previous Yuga. Within no time, the bridge was built in the ocean, and as soon as the ocean was, the bridge was built and they all walked there, suddenly, Ravan appeared, 10-armed Ravan, and Lord Ram shot an arrow and Ravan was killed. Haribo. It also happened as fast forward, and I told you also as fast forward. After that, their sound was there. Close your eyes. All the gopis closed their eyes. And there was sound, open your eyes. And the gopis opened their eyes. Again, Krishna and Balram were back. All the coward boys were back as coward boys. And this pastime takes place continuously in a Shashwat way, eternal way there. In variety of Leelas. Constantly there is Leela taking place, Krishna Balram becoming Rama and Lakshman. Sometimes they say, you know, don't behave badly with us. We were Ramchandra in the past life. And the Gopis said, hey, you are coward boy, you don't have intelligence also. We will show you. And then they manifest Ram and Lakshman. At one time they decide together, why don't we perform Ram Leela today? You become Ram, you become Lakshman. So all of them perform drama. So variety of ways this pastime takes place there. It's right in the forest, 15 minutes walk from main road. So what I told you, Rameshwar Mahadev, Setu Bandha, Indian Ocean, Sri Lanka and Ashok Vatika also. There is a temple in that Ashok Vatika where Sita Devi's Murti is there. Then one time Father Nanda Maharaj told Krishna that we are going to Char Dham. So Krishna doesn't like any time any Brajvasis make any plan to leave Braj Bhumi. There are many times this happened and many times Krishna has stopped them. So again he asked, why are you going to Char Dham? He said, when we were not getting you came later on, we were not having any children, we had prayed that if we get a son, we will visit Char Dham as our gratitude. So now you are born, already you are 7-year-old, so now we have to go. It's too late. He said, Baba, why do you want to go all the way? Even the oxygen is less there. It's too cold, it's too high, it's too difficult. Plus I don't want you to leave Braj Bhumi. So you please close your eyes. All mother, father, elderly Gopas, everybody was almost ready to leave. They closed their eyes and Krishna said, now you open your eyes. When they opened their eyes, they were right in the middle of Kedarnath, Badrinath, Gangotri, Yamunotri, with rivers flowing and Harki Pedi and all the ponds, everything was there. Immediately they just changed their clothes and they went in the water. They took bath in Gangotri, Yamunotri, Harki Pedi, Ganga, everywhere, and they fulfilled their, whatever gratitude they had to express. So thus, in Kamyaman, we have Kedarnath, we have Badrinath, we have Gangotri, we have Yamunotri. Water used to be there 40 years back, but now everything is dried up. But still there are some ponds symbolizing that place. Also Dev Sarovar is there. The demigods had created that pond, which was also lost, and then the Brajvasis had revealed it very of late, about 5 years back. So all these are there. And the best part of the story is that there is no difficulty of oxygen there. It's not as high as Badri Kedar. You can climb in 5 minutes, you can climb. And there you take 12 hours to reach, and then climbing 8 hours by buggy or whatever, or horse ride, or you walk by foot. No difficulty. Even Kedarnath is the most difficult ride actually. In truth, in actual Kedarnath Himalayas. But here in 5 minutes you can climb. And there is a big rock in the form of Nandi. Under the 4 feet of the Nandi, there is Kedarnath Mahadev. Very beautiful, extremely beautiful. And then Krishna's Mundan ceremony was done in Kedarnath. In Krishna Karnamrita, Kavi Karnapur describes very beautifully the pastimes glorifying Krishna's lotus feet and Mundan Leela also at Kedarnath. Then comes Charan Pahadi. So one time, coward boys and girls, they all come together here, not in every place. So when it becomes day, the coward boys are very happy, the cows are very happy because Krishna Balarama with them, so they are enjoying their company, and the gopis are in separation. When there will be sunset and when our time will start. So twilight came, and the coward boys started feeling a little sad, and the gopis became more and more anxious when we were going to meet. And Krishna suddenly disappeared in between the coward boys. So coward boys were really, really sad, and gopis were really hankering. So Krishna climbed a mountain and played his flute. When he played his flute, the gopis heard the message, "Don't worry, I am just now coming." And the coward boys got the message, "I am here only, don't worry. Why are you so sad?" And when he played the flute, the stone on which Krishna was standing it started melting. And the cow was with Krishna, she also put the foot on the melting stone, so her footprint came, Krishna's 1.5 footprint came, the stick print came, all these prints came, and then Krishna stopped playing the flute and the stone became normal again, but with the footprint. That place is called Charan Pahadi. Very beautiful place, where gopis used to go afterwards and cry in separation from Krishna, looking at the feet of Krishna. From Charan Pahadi, if you see, oversee, across, there is a place called Lukluk Kund. Lukluk Kund is a place where hide and seek was played by Krishna. Luka Chupi we call. Hide and seek means you blindfold somebody and then you turn him around and you hide and then you keep touching and he also touch you. So all that beautiful, playful pastimes took place in Lukluk Kund. Then this story I'll tell you last, before that I finish all the stories. There is one beautiful place called Bimal Kund. One of the king of all the ponds over here is Bimal Kund. It's called Tirtharaj. In short, in childhood playful pastimes, Krishna expanded into two. Went to Sindhu Desh. Sindhu Desh is in Pakistan now, where Raja Bimal was there. He had only 3 crore daughters. He wanted to have child and he went to Yajnavalkya Rishi and he said, Maharaj, I don't have child. Please see in my fortune if there is anything. So he did the Vikaldarshi, he did Dhyan, he said, no son in your Nasib, in your Bhagya. But I see many girls. Only 3 crore girls will be born to you. He had 16,000 wives. He was trying to have babies, but he could not have. After that, from all the 16,000 wives, around 3 crore girls were born. And Yajnavalkya Muni also blessed, don't worry, because the first thing, when anybody gets even one daughter, what is the first worry of the father? How will I marry her? If there are 1, if there are 2, there are 3, all 3 girls, and so much tension. What to speak of 3 crore girls? But he was already blessed that Krishna will marry. And he described Krishna, that he will be four-armed, he will be having pitambar, he will be playing flute, he will be wearing peacock feather. So when they became marriageable, King Bimal sent his messenger to Vrindavan Dham to search for that boy with the description. And the messenger found that boy, but he had 2 arms, not 4 arms. So he was puzzled. Everything was matching except 1, 2 or 4. So he went back and told king, this is my puzzlement. So that time, Bhishmadev had come for Digvijay when he was Devavrata. As a young boy, he had come for Digvijay, and so he was taking lunch with Bimal. So Bimal asked, I have a difficulty, can you answer? So he said, I am telling you a secret. To hide from Kamsa and keep it secret from him, Vishnu that time had 4 arms, but he became 2-armed baby, and he was transferred to Vrindavan Dham. So he is the same person, although he doesn't have 4 arms, he is the same boy. Please go again. So he sent the messenger again. At that time Krishna was playing with his friends. When they saw messenger coming from sky with the mystic Siddhi, he expanded into 2 and he flew with that messenger all the way to Pakistan in Sindh. And that time some yajna was going on. Bimal stood up to receive Krishna, immediately brought the 3 crores ladies, well decorated with lots of ornaments and lots of dowry and soldiers and elephants and horses and jewelry and cows and so many things. Krishna expanded into 3 crore forms and put garland to each daughter at once, at one point of time. He married all of them. And then he left from there. He brought the 3 crore newly married women to Kamevan. While his another form continued performing pastimes in Nandagaon and another areas, whatever cowherding pastimes. Krishna built 3 crore palaces for his queens. And in each palace he stayed in his one form. It means he had expanded into 3 crore forms. And he performed pastimes with them. One time he performed Rasa Lila with them. And when they performed Ras Leela, Krishna also had expanded into 3 crore forms and was dancing with them. At that time in ecstasy, tears came of their eyes of all 3 crore forms of Krishna and 3 crore wives newly married with Krishna. And all the water got collected to form Vimal Kunda. And Vimal Kunda was formed. Immediately 84,000 tirthas of the whole universe immediately took shelter in Vimal Kunda. They entered immediately. And Krishna blessed that whoever will take bath in Vimal Kund will not take birth again, will attain Golok Vrindavan. At that time, Vimal, the king Vimal also came out of ecstasy and the news. And he also surrendered his life to Krishna because he already had got Krishna as his son-in-law, so he was very happy. And he also went back to Godhead by the mercy of Krishna there only at Vimal Kund, and he achieved Sarupya Mukti. He achieved Mukti in the form of Krishna only. So he became like Krishna, playing flute, wearing pitambar, peacock feather. So there is a temple at Vimal Kund where there are 2 Krishna Murtis, dark color. Both are having same demeanor, playing flute. But one is Vimal Raja in Sarupya Mukti and one is Krishna himself. So Vimal Kund is conglomeration of all the holy places in the form of forest, in the form of pond, in the form of mountain, in the form of anything, whatever is holy. Collection of everybody is in Vimal Kund. So when you take Vimal Kund, you touch Vimal Kund water, you take bath in that, you do Achman, you remember Vimal Kund, you go there, your life is blessed by Krishna. At the end of this life, all of you will go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Then I told you beginning only, Kameshwar Mahadev. There are 4 Mahadevs in Brajbhumi. One is Bhuteshwar Mahadev, worshipped by Kamsa. One is Gopeshwar Mahadev. He became Gopi in Vrindavan and observed Ras Leela. Then Chakreshwar Mahadev, who stayed at Chakratirtha at Govardhan, and Kameshwar Mahadev in Kamyavan. So there is also one Mahadev called Man Kameshwar Mahadev. There is also one Mahadev called Panchamukhi Mahadev, all in Kamyavan. And close by is that Pandav Kund, where the Yaksha Kund story happened. And close by is the hut where Pandavas resided at the banks of that Kund in Kamyavan. So there are the deities of Pandavas there in that hut, still maintained well. Then when the deities from Vrindavan were been taken away by the devotees to safe place in Jaipur, they halted at many places. First was Radhakund, then second was Kamyavan. So Radha Vallabhji, the deity of Hit Harivansha Goswami, also resided in Kamyavan. But after some time, the deity returned back to Vrindavan. So there is a temple of Radha Vallabhji also in Kamyavan. Just nearby the Radha Govinda temple. Even Radha Madan Mohanji also came here and resided for some time before going to Jaipur and from there to Karauli. So Radha Madan Mohanji deity were taken up by Pushti Margi devotees, followers of Vallabhacharya, and they served the Lord in baby bhav, bal bhav. So bal bhav means darshan open for 2 minutes and darshan closed for 5 hours. Then baby is sleeping most of the times and only wakes up to eat something, gives darshan and goes to sleep again. So like that darshan style is there in that temple, which is called as Gokul Chandrama temple, which is just next to Radha Govindji. So Madan Mohanji, Govindji and Gopinathji's very huge temple is there in Kamyavan. Extremely beautiful in Rajasthani style under the control of Devasthan Vibhaga of Rajasthan. Then I come to this place now. This place is called Bhojan Thali or Bhojan Sthali. Both have their important significance of the word. Sthali means place and Thali means plate. Both things are true here. So there was one king called Kuvalashva in long back Satyayuga. And he had a daughter called Krishnavati. And he and his daughter, as Kshatriyas, they fought many wars. And they won all the wars, one after another. She never saw the defeat with father. But after many years of victory, at one point of time, they got defeated. The father got killed. All the army was vanquished. And she had to run away with her life. So it is said, when you get too much success, you can't digest the failure. That is the sad story of human life. You want victory, 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 but when failure comes, and when the failure comes after too much victory, then you get completely collapsed. So she was totally depressed, seeing her father losing the war and then she remaining, all the kingdom, everything was usurped. So she came to a forest and she performed tapasya to please Vishnu. And one fine day when she was about to take bath in the pond as an austere lady, she had darshan of Vishnu. So she said, Vishnu said, I am very pleased with your tapasya. Please ask for benediction. So she said, I want to become a mountain or a rock or whatever, where I want you to sit and eat on me. I want myself to be the platform for you and your friends to sit and eat. So she became Indusen Leela, Indusen Shila. The rock that you see there, the full whatever rock is called Indusen Shila or Indrasen Shila. And in that, by her desire, first of all, when she got this boon, she went back to Godhead. But when Krishna came down in Dwapar Yuga, she appeared as a mountain or small hillock by the blessings of Krishna, which she had received before. And then by her desire, plates and cups were formed inside her existence as rock. And then in Dwapar Yuga, Krishna came here, sat down and put all his items in those ready-made plates and cups. All the items were put there and Krishna enjoyed and had his beautiful pastimes with cowherd boys. So that is why bringing food here and putting in that plate, offering to Krishna and then honoring is one of the most important activities. So when I bring yatra here, we bring breakfast here unoffered and we put in those thalis and we systematically offer, and then everybody honors prasad over here. So whenever you come next time, you can remember this, that bring some food and offer to Krishna and Krishna will very happily honor it. Then you can all sit here and honor the prasad. That is why it's called as Bhojan Sthali and Bhojan Thali. Now you got the meaning very clearly. Above that, there is one temple called Dudh Katora. At one level you will get the stone with plates. Just go above, at one level there is steps there, slope there. This place called Dudh Katora. That means a pot of milk. Balramji one time, when he was playing with cowherd boys, Balramji one time had a big pot of milk. And he wanted to drink it alone. So he went up in a cave, hid himself and he was drinking the milk alone. At that time all the cowherd boys were thinking, where is Balram, where is Balram? So they found him drinking milk alone. So they gave him one dhakka. That means they, what do you call it in English? I don't know. They pushed him. When they pushed him, the pot of milk fell from his hand and spilled over. So that what do you call, dhar kya bolte hain in English? That flow, that stream of milk came from Indusen Shila all the way and went down and formed a big pond called Shirsagar Kunda. That is the way Balramji gave way to actual Shirsagar to come and reside in Kamevan. That is why this pastime was performed. So if you go very carefully and see, there is a stream, white color stream on that rock on right side. On left side there is Shila and there are plates and everything, and on right side there is another rock which has clear cut white stream going down, and down there is on my left side is a big pond. It's called Shirsagar. Shirsagar appeared in 5 different places in Brajbhumi. Shirsagar appeared in Dauji also, Baldev. Shirsagar appeared in Bhadirvan also, Pethagaon, Pravishtavan, where Krishna appeared as Vishnu after disappearing from Vasanti Ras Leela. Krishna appeared as Vishnu and under him Shirsagar appeared. And Bimal Kund also Shirsagar appeared and Radha Kund also Shirsagar appeared. So at least 5 places I know where Shirsagar has got residence in Brajbhumi. So, Indusen Shila, Bhojan Thali, Dudh Katora. Then Krishna was playing here with his friends and Krishna plays different games. So one time, one cowherd boy did not come due to his sickness. So the demon Vyomasur found out by his study that this particular coward boy has not gone today. So he disguised as that coward boy and joined the coward boys in their play. And Krishna decided and Balram decided that today we'll play a game that 1/3 of our coward boys will become goats. 1/3 of the coward boys will become police. And 1/3 of coward boys become thieves. And the thieves will steal the goats and the police will catch the thief with the goats. So this way we'll keep playing. So this particular coward boy who was a demon, Vyomasur, he became coward boy who was supposed to steal the goats. That means the coward boy also become goats. So he was stealing the goats, the coward boys, one by one and hiding them in one mountain in a cave. So after some time, the number of coward boys became less and less and less and less, alarmingly less. So Krishna Balaram discussed, what is happening? Our boys are disappearing. They are disappearing. So Krishna said, look at this boy. He is not that coward boy who didn't come. Look at his eyes, how red they are, how ferocious they are. So he is a demon. So Balaram said, yes, I also agree with you. So Krishna said, shall I kill him? Balaram said, yes, you can kill him. So then Krishna went in and caught him. He started punching him. Immediately this demon took a gigantic, big form, touching the skies. And Krishna also assumed the form of huge form touching the sky. They started fighting in the space. Everybody is watching the sky. Our coward friend Krishna has become mountainous size and they had huge fight and war in the sky. And at times they used to jump in the sky and then jump back on the mountain. So wherever Krishna jumped, at times with feet he jumped, at times with knees he jumped, came down. So there are many handprints when he fell on the, came down on the hand. There are handprints, hasta chinna. Whenever he fell on, willingly fell down on the mountain with feet, there are footprints. And amazingly, there are prints of his garlands. Because when he jumped with so much speed, his moti mala also, flower mala also, smashed the stones. And because the stones experience ecstasy by the divine touch of Krishna's hands, feet, garlands, moti, everything, all those multiple signs are there on the mountain. There are small temples built with clear-cut signs of beads, flowers, fingers, knees and feet. And then there is a cave where Vyomasur Gufa, where the coward boys were stolen. After Vyomasur was killed, before he was fighting war with Krishna, the war was so fierce that the earth was trembling out of fear. And Balramji was standing one place, he saw earth trembling. So he put his left foot and with his left big toe, he pressed the earth and threw his Uttariya Vastra on the ground and told earth, don't worry, I am here to protect you. And he made the earth steady. So that there is a place here close by where Balram Charna Chinna is there. Left side footprint is deeper and thumb is much deeper than that because he pressed the earth with his big toe. And there is also a place where next to that where his Uttariya Vastra Chinna is there on the rock. So that is Balram Charan Chinna, Vyomasur Gufa. You can't go there. Even if you go in 5 people's group, only one group can climb. They have to stand up, then other group can come. It's like very difficult situation. It will take you a whole day to all these people to take darshan of Vyomasur Gufa. But suffice to say, the Gufa is very deep. You can crawl inside the Gufa and sit in meditation inside. It's a huge space inside. So when Vyomasur was killed and Krishna went up, removed the boulder and released all the coward boys. And they said, well done Krishna. They all came out of the Gufa. Then if you go ahead from here on this side and go in the forest inside half kilometer, there is a place called Fislini Shila, where Krishna and Balram and coward boys, they slided down. And it is said that if you 7 times slide down, on the Frisini Shila, you will not take birth again in the material world. So Frisini Shila is still today very, very smooth, and people go down with their buttocks and back, people go down with their chest in the Dandavat position, people go in any position, the people in the lap, and all those kind of things. Krishna did all those things, all variety of things. So people also do all those variety of things and they slide down. And there are people waiting down to take Dakshina from you. As soon as you take one slide down, Dakshina do, Dakshina do. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. So in the effort of fast forward, I was too much fast forward. So I finished in 45 minutes and we have still 15 minutes more. So this place is, as I told you, there are unlimited tanks of water, unlimited temples. So there is a place called Lalita Kund, also Vishakha Kund, and many other Gopis Kund. There the stories of Lalita's previous life and Vishakha's previous life also are told. Now all these stories of Kamyavan are told in Adi Varaha Puran. To tell the story now, if you have time, that when Varahadev appeared from the nostril of Brahmaji, right? When there was a terror created by Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So Brahma was wondering how to control this demon. So that time Varahadev came out, and within no time he became gigantic, occupying the whole sky. And then he dived into the Garbhodaka ocean and took earth on his tusk and brought her out of the water and placed her in her orbit. At that time she saw and she asked Krishna, Varahadev, where are you going to place me? He said, on that green land. So she thought, greenery is only my prerogative. I have the power of creating, power of Dharana Shakti. I am one with greenery and I am supposed to be, people are resting on me. So which is this place? So he said, once I put you, I will explain to you. So she was very curious. So when they were together, when they were in union, that means Varahadev was carrying earth. At that time one son was born. His name is Bhauma, the son of Varahadev and Bhumi Devi. Bhumi Devi's son, Bhauma. But later on, Bhauma had kusangati, bad association with Banasur. So he became also Asur, Bhaumasur, who is also known as Narakasur. Yesterday was the day when Narakasur was killed, Naraka Chaturdashi, by Krishna. So when, of course, Bhaumasur went away and then he was raised separately. But when Varahadev killed Hiranyaksha after a fierce fight, the long description in 3rd canto of Bhagavatam, he was killed and earth was released and relived. So Varahadev came in Vrindavan Dham and was resting at Vishram Ghat. Because of his resting, the ghat is called Vishram Ghat. He rested there. It's in Mathura. So when he was resting after killing Hiranyaksha, Mother Earth took form of a Devi and she came there and she inquired, my lord, you are going to explain to me about that greenery which I am placed on. What is that place? Please tell me the glories of that place. Who can hold me also? I am supposed to hold everybody, but this place is holding me also. Then Varahadev, relaxing in a very relaxed position, Bhumi Devi standing in folded hands, asking questions. Varahadev explained to her the glories of Vrindavan Dham, the Braj Dham, Braj Mandal, Mathura Mandal, and also explained all the stories of Braj Bhumi, all the Leelas. So, all these pastimes which I told you, and there are many, many, many more pastimes, are there in Adi Varaha Puran. Where Setubandha Rameshwar, all these Indusen, Shila, every playful pastimes of Rameshwaram, of Setubandha Leela, everything is explained in that book. Which is now not available in Geetapur, Gorakhpur press also. Unfortunately, I am searching. I have got only references in some other books of the shlokas of Adi Varaha Puran. So, Adivara Puran basically is told by Varahadev to Mother Earth. Mother Earth is hearing attentively, asking many questions. And Varahadev is very patiently answering all the questions. At the same time, when Krishna killed Kamsa, he also came and rested there. This is called as Vishram Ghat. Then Varahadev, after resting at that place, one time in Dwapar Leela, when Krishna is now performing Dwapar Leela, Varahadev came in Satya Yuga. So all the cowherd boys and gopis said, we heard that you were Varahadev in the past life. So again Krishna said, no, it's not me. They no, you have to show us. So just across our Bhaktivedanta hospice on Parikrama Road, exactly our hospice is in Adi Varaha Ghat, where Krishna revealed his Varaha form to all the cowherd boys and cowherd girls. That's where our hospital is there. And there is Adi Varaha Ghat, Gautam Rishi's temple is there, where Varahadev also is there, appeared there. At the same time, you must know that there are two Varahadevs. One Varahadev is Shweta Varaha. One Varahadev is Rakta Varaha. They happened to appear in different millennia. They are not in the same time. One time then when there was a devastation of mini pralaya was taking place, at that time earth just slipped because of imbalance in the ocean, at the bottom of the ocean. At that time Rakta Varaha came and there was no Hiranyaksha. She just lifted her and put her back into the orbit. That is Rakta Varaha. And Shweta Varaha came when Hiranyaksha kicked Mother Earth as a football out of orbit and threw her down in the bottom of the ocean. At that time Varahadev appeared as Shweta Varaha and then went down the ocean, relieved the earth, and then fought with Varahadev and killed Varahadev. So this Varahadev, Shweta Varahadev, was then worshipped by Indra. And it was offered to Lord Ram. It's a long story, I can't go in detail of that. But then Lord Ram worshipped this Varahadev for a long time. And when time came to Shatrugna, for Shatrugna to go to Vrindavan Dham to kill Lavanasur, at that time Shatrugna said to Lord Ram, I need some mercy from your side to do this seva to you. So Lord Ram gave him Shweta Varaha. And he said, go and take. So he came and established Varahadev in Mathura, worshipped that deity, and then went and fought with Lavanasur and killed him. So this is the connection between Ramayana and Krishna Leela. Originally the Vrindavan Dham was established by, Mathura Nagari was established by Shatrugna. And Bharat also came and established Dirghapur, which is called as Deeg today. We came by that road only, Deeg. The Deeg is Dirghapur, the kingdom established by Bharat. And Mathura was established by Shatrugna after killing of Lavanasur. Hare Krishna. Any questions anybody has? Yes.
Guruji, you mentioned about this Vyomasur pastime where Krishna had to
Expand.
So, and you mentioned that there are temples at different places. So
Small temples.
Okay, so these footprints are big or like these are normal?
They are bigger than our footprints. I mean, if I was to walk, and they are bigger than that. And you can clearly see the big thumb print, toe print, small toe prints, flower prints in the garland form, then bead prints in bead ornament form, and knee prints are there also. And Garga Samhita explains very clearly, this is what I told you, whoever will take darshan of Hasta Chinna or Pada Chinna, handprints or footprints or any prints of Krishna's body in Vrindavan Dham, and of course when we see, we will touch, we will bow down, we will do abhishek, we will put water, everything we will do, whatever we do with those handprints, footprints, Garga Samhita tells us that those people will not take birth again in the material world. So all of us have, by the mercy of Acharyas, reached Kamyavan, and Kamyavan is a place to get all the desires fulfilled. But our Acharyas also tell us that we should not desire anything material when we come to Vrindavan Dham. And there's a reason behind it. Why we should not ask for any material benedictions? Oh, I want a son because I don't have children, or I want a house to stay. I don't have a house to stay. I'm a rental house. I need to travel, so I need a vehicle, or I need to get my daughter married to a suitable husband. Variety of hundreds and thousands of. I want iPhone 17 Pro, it's latest in market. So there are many people dreaming daytime and nighttime, both the times, to have that. So many desires are there. But why we should not ask for those desires to be fulfilled here in this place? Because you may get those things after you ask. That this place is potent enough to fulfill your material desires also. But when you achieve the result of your material desires in the form of obtaining something what you want, it has a expiry date. Expiry date in existing the items, I mean having the items existing, and also the expiry date for happiness the item can give you. Do you understand what I'm saying? The item itself will die or get spoiled after some time, and before the item gets spoiled, your happiness will also end, much before the item gets defunct. Similarly, daughter's wedding or birth of a child, all these things give happiness only when we don't have it, in anticipation, and just at the time when we have it. It is explained in the spiritual life that in the material world, the happiness exists only in anticipation of the happiness. That means a person is very happy in the anticipation of getting married. I am getting married, I am getting married, I am getting married. That is the only happiness. When you get married, you become happy, and that is the end of the happiness that you are already going through. And then what goes on, I don't have to tell you. Very soon you feel, why I got married? So every happiness in the material world has an expiry date of happiness and the item itself. That is why we should not ask for material happiness or desires in this place. When you ask for spiritual things, the result is eternal. It doesn't get expired, neither in existence and nor in the happiness content. So that is why don't be foolish or miserly or narrow-minded enough to only ask for material benedictions. Rather, don't ask for them, because Krishna has already said, na, Ananyas chintayanto mam yo janaha paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam. Loudly, yoga kshema vahami aham. I will fulfill all your desires. Personally, I will carry what you lack. I will preserve what you have. This is Krishna's personal promise. So for your material life, whatever you need already is there. You are getting food, you are getting clothes, you are getting having a house to stay, and things are happening in the course of time, marriage, children, everything. But it is said in Marathi that prapancha hot rahato, adhyatma karava lagta. That means the material life goes on its own, but the spiritual life has to be actively, voluntarily performed. It doesn't happen automatically. You have to do it with sankalpa, with your determination, with your desire. So that is why we have to desire for spiritual perfection in this place. We have to desire for attaining love of Godhead in this place. We have to desire to attain the service of the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna in this place. And also we have to desire to let you come again and again to this place. But we should desire that in this yatra we are able to visit two places. There should be a time in near future or in the nearest future that you will be able to visit all the holy places with all the stories being told, and you will be able to be immersed yourself. Like when you go to Vimalkund, you have to imagine that there were 3 crore palaces of Krishna. Dwarka also had less number of palaces. Kamevan had 3 crore palaces. Much more multiplied Leela. So with these few words, I thank all of you to allow me to speak about this wonderful place called Kamevan, which is the second best forest of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.